welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Euston Wall. I've done some warm-up climbs already today, so I'm going to jump straight into a V4. Starts with a couple of hands on these two holds on the volume, some lower feet down here and here. A bit of a mantle sequence coming up onto the volume using the side pull on the left, and then it's a case of trusting the feet, doing a bit of a change of feet on this hold I think, and transitioning across using these holds up to the top hold on the right. So just going to jump into that now and see how we get on, and I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, probably a bit of a misread on that one. I spent a lot of time matching that left hand. So I went over the right first, then left, so probably should have come in with the right hand onto this one, then gone straight up with the left, would have made that a lot easier. Okay, moving on to a V5 now. Starts with a hand on this undercling down here, foot on this big hold, then there's another hand on this little crimp in here. Awkward looking hold. A bit of balance I think more than anything else, so yeah, just using that for balance coming across. Quite a high foot here relative to the first one, and then into this press in here, hand hold up here, little crimp, and then yeah, another little crimpy hold there, underclingy hold at the second last, up to the last hold on the right over there. So yeah, should be quite an interesting route. I think it's going to be quite balancy once again, and quite technical, so we'll see how we get on with it. Okay, so just reading this one, I think it's obviously hands on this, like this. Left foot on high right foot early, I think. And then just trying to get the hips as close to the wall as I can. Palming with this one, getting in nice and close with my upper body. Trying to stretch the shoulders through to come into this. And then transition the weight across on this foot, quite an awkward position. To then come around the corner. Change feet on here. Maybe come into this if I need to. And then up with the left hand to the crimp. Work the feet up before possibly calming down on the volume as well, and then up with the hand to the second last, and then across to the last from there. So we'll see how it goes. I think I need to loosen the hips off a bit more, to be honest, to begin with, to get a bit closer. I do think that's the way it's set, but it's just really high foot like I mentioned to begin with, so it's going to be quite awkward to get the body positioning right on that hold. Cleanest, that's for sure. A bit messy coming up the top here. Kind of didn't really read the sequence towards the end. Yeah, I had to really fight to keep my hand on this hold, stop me slipping off. I barely held on, especially when I was changing feet. Just so bunched in that position, and I'm just not very good at getting my hips closest to the wall. I need to stretch off a bit more before I do that properly. But yeah, managed to get through to this and then get the crimp. And the awkward bit was getting up to this hold, and then once I've figured out how to get to the next hold, it's actually quite a good hold, even though it's upside down. You can kind of pull down from the top of it, so yeah, interesting route that one. There you go, try another V5 now. So it is this one here, starting with hand on this hold, and then a hand on this volume down here. It's the red plum obviously. There's a foot kind of between the volumes there, and one here, and then little foot chip here, into an undercling, locked crimp up there, and then the top hold up there. So there's not loads of feet to use other than the volumes basically, so I'm going to be using those, trusting my feet and my heels down for the most part I think for that. Looks like a little traverse to the left and then up from there, so should be quite a steady one this one. So just looking at reading this, it looks like obviously you start with a hand on this, hand on this. The volume here is not great. I think you're going to have to stand right on the edge of this foothold. So it's kind of like a hand-foot match to begin with. Probably coming over with the right hand maybe. Or maybe you'll be able to stand up on this foot and then come up with the left, I'm not sure. I have to decide that when I get on the wall in the position. From there, walking the feet through, up onto the volume, up into maybe a Gaston or possibly just the side pull. And then stand the foot up onto this and up to the top. Once again, looks like some interesting body positions, so we'll see how we get on with that. That is really awkward. I think I just need to get my weight further left and just trust the foot and pistol squat, really. Whereas I didn't do that and I was trying to reach for the hold on the left side, but I couldn't reach it, so an awkward start that. Okay, as usual, I just decided to dyno through that. Just got set and went straight through the hole. I just couldn't establish on the wall statically while still holding on to this. I couldn't get in a position where I was able to do that with the start hold, so I just decided to generate to the hold. Not sure if that's how it's set or not. Not sure if you're supposed to just kind of pistol squat over this side and stand up, but I couldn't get enough of my weight this way when I tried to do it statically to stand up. So that time I just decided, let's just go for the dyno. Managed to push off and catch the hold. And well, I don't know, I kind of dabbed a bit on this when I did a backwards flag, but I mean, if that wasn't there, I'd just hit the wall and had the same outcome. So yeah, interesting set, that one. Quite a tricky end sequence as well. Foot placement, and the last hole's really bad, really bad. So it's just all through the right foot, sorry, on that hold. But yeah, another awkward 5. Okay, now I'm a little bit looser from those climbs. Just going to jump into the V8 that I fell off a few times in the last video. So this one here, just a reminder. A couple of small crims to start with. A bit of an awkward body position to start as well. With the foot down there, into this sloper. And then my nemesis was this tiny foothold that sent me flying off the wall. Because I lost balance. It looks like they've also now actually removed this hold. Not sure if that's deliberately done. I assume it must be. Whether they thought it wasn't a V8 with that there or not, I'm not sure. But it's just the volume that I've got now, so I have to find a different way to do the top, which reaches up to here. But yeah, no hold that was here. You can see where it used to be with that circular mark. See how it goes. That's best attempt so far. Trusted this foot a bit better. And then that volume is just so awkward to get in the right position with the hand. So used to a bit of compression where this foothold was. And I kind of just rushed to the last hold a little bit too quickly. So I need to take my time a little bit more on the next move. Yeah, I think my right foot just popped off on that time, so couldn't quite stick it, but yeah, best attempt yet, so should get this one today. yeah, happy to get that in the end. Just really had to trust this a lot. My left foot ended up coming a bit further out than I realised and that I planned. I kind of wanted my left foot a bit higher, but managed to get the dead point right up to the top hole from there. And yeah, I caught it at a good angle, so it was fine. Then a simple change of feet on that foothold here to match. But yeah, really happy to get that one. That took me a bit of mental toughness more than anything else to just trust that foot a lot. So yeah, cool 8. Okay, gonna move on to a different V8 now. It's this wasp in here. Starts with 2 hands on this hole. Bit of a blocked part of the hole in here as well. Then there's a little foot chip down here to stand on. Very crimpy climb this one, so in theory my style, but it also looks quite spanny. So holds up there, that's blocked again into another blocked hold, and there's no feet between this hold and that one. So it's a long way to go to reach those before these last holds up here, and then another blocked hold at the top. So yeah, looks like quite a tough route, difficult to read, and yeah, kind of outdoor style I'd say, with a cool traverse. So we'll see how we get on with this one. Okay, so the way I'm reading this one, obviously 2 hands on this hold first. Left foot maybe on, possibly right, I'm not sure yet. But then I'm going to go straight up with the left hand to here, in which case I will need a left foot on that afterwards, at least to then get a foot onto this for the next move. It might be a heel on this, it's a relatively large edge to reach on here, so it might be more useful for a heel in that position, because I think getting a toe is probably going to be too stretched. So heel in here, then rock over onto that and try and get some weight on that foot to then come up with the right hand up to the next crimp. I'm not sure where on that hold I'm going to go for, whether it's left side or right side, don't know yet, but based on where my hand can go. Then obviously matching this hold, probably change to a toe and stand up. Get the left hand as far to the right of this hold as I can. Then I have to reach out with the right hand probably to the lower of these holds. Change to a left foot on here. And this is where I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I don't know if you're meant to step through to this, but that's very wide for me. I'm not going to be able to do that. I might have to just really lean into this right hand first, sink into that a lot with the left foot on, and then come over with the left hand, and then basically cut feet for a little bit to get my right foot up to here. And then from there, it looks like quite a big move as well, to then go left hand up to the right. So yeah, tricky route this one. Going to see how we go with it. High foot for me. I do think that's the right sequence, but it's so awkward for me to get my foot on this and then my weight on the foot. My shoe was slipping a bit there as well from the position that I was pulling in, so I need to tweak the way my heel was positioned on here. So probably going to have a look at the footage back and see what I can improve better on that. But yeah, happy to get the first move at least out to here. And it's just a case of finding a way to get heel on that move there. Yeah, I'm just going to work on the next move now, getting the heel up from here, just to save a bit of energy from the first move. I'll probably do that along the rest of this route as well. At any stage when I fall off, I'll then just practice that move in isolation. So I could be stuck on this move for a while, I don't know. But let's just save energy just trying that move rather than doing the move beforehand as well. So we'll see how we get on. Wow, that is awkward. Okay, let's go get that one. Foot still slipped a little bit at the end, but I think I just pushed harder off the left to get a bit higher and go more dynamically into that position, whereas the first couple of goes I tried to go statically all the way up. That go I pushed a bit more and got set more in a position where the heel was on top. Made it a lot easier to reach up. So yeah, really happy with that. Managed to get the hand on that lower part of the hole. Just didn't quite hold it in the end. I might give that a brush, make it a little bit easier. But yeah, super awkward move. Really difficult to keep the foot on and keep tension. But yeah, that's good progress. Man, the whole time I was doing that, I don't know if you can see that, but my shoe's just there's so much give in this position. You can see how much space there is in there. So my foot's just rolling over onto that, and then my actual foot is not really on the hold, but the loose part of my shoe is what's on there. So it's really awkward to stay balanced in that position. Probably need to get some tighter shoes if I want to climb more technical things like this, because yes, I got the move, but there was so much material with my shoe on the hold rather than my actual foot. It's so difficult to keep tension in that way. But yeah, good progress, at least getting up to the right hand more stably that time. It's just then a case of leaning into that a bit more, and then I think coming over with the left to the right side of that hold, and then I should be able to change the foot. Okay, getting quite fatigued trying this move. It's quite physical to get onto that foot. I'm using my left hand a lot, like really crimping quite hard on this hold to get up there as well. So I'll go climb up these green holds and come across and try and set on the wall from that hold, and then look at the end sequences from there, and then try and figure that sort of transition move out a little bit later on. Awkward. I do think I need to cross over the left first and then get a toe on this to come out. But once I got established up there, I actually couldn't get the left hand back down. It's quite an awkward position to get back into because it moves your weight to the left a bit more, and that's kind of enough to pop you off the wall. So it's going to be difficult to establish in that position where I was to get the left hand. So I might have to just try and set myself on the wall like this, heel on, and see if from that position I can then change to a toe and reach out. But yeah, it's difficult, very difficult this route. Wow, okay, got the end sequence, really happy with that actually. That was tougher, that was a proper fight. Difficult to get the feet up in this awkward cross position, and the last hold is so cleverly blocked. Even when you get your right hand on, it's difficult to match properly next to it. So yeah, had to fight a lot to hold that, but really glad to get that end sequence from here. Like the crux for me is getting this heel on and rocking over up to this hold. I've not figured out the move to come into the left hand in this position on that hold, and the hardest part of it is going to be then releasing the heel to turn it into a toe. That move is quite easy when you come out to this with the toe on here, but with the heel on it's really difficult to take enough weight off the foot by using your hands to turn that into a toe as you go along. So that's going to definitely be a crux for me on this one. Probably here I'm quite fatigued now, so I don't know how many goes I've got left trying this sequence in this bit today, but yeah, I'm actually really happy with that. I surprised myself there with that end sequence. So yeah, really happy with that one. Oh, I just don't trust that foot. Okay, going to end the video there. Pretty disappointed actually at that. So, made a lot of progress on that V8 at the end. Really glad to get the other V8, the white one as well, on the slab that I sort of failed to get at the last video. But yeah, I know I can do this route. I think it's only up for this week, and that's all. But yeah, just really struggling with that heel to get it in securely without slipping off. Like I say, there's a lot of material of my shoe that's kind of bunching up between my heel and the wall, so it's really difficult to actually rock over onto that without slipping off. But yeah, did some good climbing today. Quite happy with how I did. But yeah, definitely gonna come back to this one probably tomorrow and see how we get on with it. But yeah, my phone's about to die, so I can't film anymore anyway. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate it. It helps the channel out a lot. So thank you for all your support. But most importantly, as always, make sure you grab life by the plums, and I will see you in the next one.